Creo Illustrate allows you to create detailed animation sequences from your 3D CAD models that can then be seamlessly integrated into Vuforia Studio. Creo Illustrate is the best way to export animations into Vuforia Studio. The PVZ file format exported by Illustrate is natively supported by Studio, and the animation data is embedded within it. To import models, Creo Illustrate supports a wide variety of third-party and generic CAD formats such as STL, STEP, and more. For a full list of supported formats, check the link in the description. To get started, we first have to import our model into Illustrate. Click the Import button up at the top and you'll see two options, Embed and Link. We will select Embed as we want to create a copy of the model within Illustrate and make as many changes as we'd like. Once selected, navigate to your chosen file and select Open. You will then see a pop-up for creating a new figure within the file. Double-click on Default and your model will load in. The main interface in Creo Illustrate has three key panels to navigate and edit your project. The top panel contains all the tools you can use to edit and apply animations to your model. On the left panel, you can navigate the SBOM, which contains all the parts of the model. The Figure tab allows you to add or edit a new figure. Each figure represents a different animation of your model. If you want to import many different animations into Vuforia Studio for the same model, having different figures for each animation is a good way to do this. The bottom panel lists other relevant information to your model, such as keyframes. In this video, we will make a simple animation that we can then import into Vuforia Studio. Click on the Animation tab and then select the Sequence button. The step editor will open on your left pane. This is where you can edit and rearrange the steps of your animation sequence. To rename the steps, simply right-click and select Rename. Selecting the drop-down menu under the Effects tab, you can see all the effects you can apply to your model. To apply an animation, first select the part you want to animate. When you hover over the part, it will flash green, and once selected will stay green. Then select the animation effect you want to apply. In this case, we will select Flash. You will then get a pop-up confirming the Flash settings. The Components section lists which parts are included in the animation. Select an additional part and click on Add to have them in the list. Or you can remove items with Remove selected. You can also change the color and amount of times you want it to flash, and select OK to confirm. Click anywhere around the model to deselect the part. You will now see the Keyframe Editor pane become populated. You can press the play button to play the animation sequence. You can shorten or lengthen the animation in the Keyframe Editor by dragging on the edge handles. You can add further animation sequences within this step by following the same process as above. For example, I can select another part and apply a different effect to it. The length of the new animation is determined by the slider next to the playhead. You can also expand a step to see the individual animations within it. Alternatively, you can create a new step by simply clicking the Add New Step button and repeating the process. Having multiple steps gives you finer control over the animation once imported into Vuforia Studio. You can also select multiple components by clicking and dragging over all of them. You can animate moving sequences by selecting the Transform button and using the arrows to move the components in the desired direction. When doing this, make sure the Record Content button is toggled on. You can also save selections of multiple parts for later use. Simply select all of the parts you need, navigate to the SBOM, and then right-click to Add to Selection Set. Now, if you go into the Selection Sets tab on the inner left panel, you can quickly access your group of parts. To export the animation, select File and then Publish. This will publish the animation as a .pvz file, which will import seamlessly into Vuforia Studio. In Vuforia Studio, you can import the animation file in the same manner as importing a 3D model. If you want to learn how to do this in detail, have a look at our Vuforia Studio basic walkthrough or model target video. Both are linked below. Scroll down on the Model tab till you see Sequence. When you select the drop-down, you can see and select the different figures that you have created in Illustrate. Scroll down further and you will see the Services pane, which has bindings such as Forward, Play, Play All, and more. The Play function allows you to play each step of the animation sequentially, whereas the Play All function will play all the steps simultaneously. These are all services that you can bind to widgets. To have the animation sequence play in your AR experience, we need to bind the relevant service to a compatible widget, such as a button. For demonstration purposes, we have a button here labeled Play that we will bind our model to. To learn more about using the 2D canvas or bindings, stay tuned for our upcoming videos on the topics. In the button pane, navigate to Click under Events. Click and hold to drag the arrow icon to your model and then drop. You will then see a pop-up asking which service from the model you want to bind the button to. We will select Play and click Bind. Once you are finished, save the experience and navigate to Preview mode to see the animation play out. Since we have multiple steps in our figure, we can press the button again to play the next step. Now that you know how to import an animation into Vuforia Studio, check out some of our other videos to learn how to create an AR experience suited to your needs.